Welcome to another journey so far. We've got Duane Kelaart on to share some experience, to share his experience with being part of the Next Level Rock Guitar. Duane, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about what life was like or what challenge you were facing before you joined the Next Level Rock Guitar program.
I've had lessons on and off for a while with different teachers, and I just sort of found I was stuck in just doing the same things over and over again, and those same things weren't necessarily the right things. They were just the things that you fall into a pattern of doing.
Okay.
Um,
And so what was it like once you kind of realized you were stuck in this kind of like just revolving in this same
oh, it's
patterns?
frustrating because like I'd just play the same songs over and over, but I'd know they'd be wrong, but I wouldn't know how to actually um, parts of it would to make it better and actually make it flow better, even changing chords smoothly and going through a guitar life, avoiding bar chords, etc. was
Yes.
um, a pretty common theme from what I would play. It would be just cowboy chords.
Okay. And so what was different or what changed after you joined the Next Level Rock Guitar program?
I think it's a lot of it was there's several things. One's the structure in terms of having more of a routine where I'm getting guided practice in the right things. Whereas even if I think I'd be better now, but without that, even if I was probably progressing well, I would still be just going towards playing songs instead of trying to be better at rhythm, to be better at making sure that the chords actually were all ringing out true and correct. Um, and I think I mentioned another thing. The other thing that I really enjoy about it is actually the community. So there's a few of us which bounce around ideas. So there was today there was between a few of us there was probably 20 to 30 messages pinging back and forward about a particular topic, and that's really helpful because it's you've got a learning group outside of the structured lesson.
Mm. So valuable. So yeah, it's like now that I'm doing this, I'm like, why wasn't I doing this before? And I guess it's the same for you, right? It's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, why aren't I learning with other group of people? And that's what you do with everything else, biking, sports.
Yeah, there's fear, shame. There's lots of reasons why, but you've just got to take the leap, and that's probably where it all comes down to. If you want to invest in getting better in anything, you've got to be uncomfortable, and
Yes,
that's the way you get better.
that is very cool. That's an awesome realization. Yeah, that's why we don't do it because we're like terrified that someone sees and tell us that we suck.
Yep.
And we
And
suck.
I see it with some of the other members of the group. They're like, their confidence, oh, I can't do this. I'm like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You do it better than I can. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, that's a really powerful thing to do, to have a community of people supporting you. And I've noticed that so much as well. Is it's like people, everyone else giving everybody else encouragement. I'm like, oh, that's awesome because it's not
Mm.
coming from me because so you're paying me to help you, and I have an invested interest in encouraging you, but someone else, it's just like they're doing it with you. Really, take us to a moment when you realized that this was actually really helping you progress.
Um, Going back to bar chords, I can play bar chords and change between them quite well. That was a realization. It's like even a B minor. It was sort of like I would never have played that because I just found a different song. I just would have gone that. I could do F before, but then to change between them, I would just, and that's a realization. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do this, and the to be able to change along the neck with different barcode structures was one of the realizations. I was like, okay, I have invested time in this, and I'm getting results, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, awesome. And so, what's life like now that you're sort of on the path? You've got a bit more structure. You're feeling less frustrated. How do you feel now?
I feel good. I still get frustrated at times. That's you're still going to have peaks and troughs and plateaus in guitar. That's just going to happen. But I feel much better in terms of I feel like I'm definitely getting results out of as I said, out of the time that I'm investing in that,
Yeah.
which is ideal because if if you're doing the same things and you're not getting any better, then you got some choices to make.
Awesome. And what advice would you give somebody else who's thinking about either joining our program or at least just getting some help with their guitar playing if they're kind of stuck and frustrated?
I think it's settings, going to that hall of mirrors and looking and saying, is this something that you really want to do? If that's something that you really want to do, or if it's only something that you only want to half do, then if you want to do it, you've got to, like anything, you've got to invest time and just take a chance and get some help. This sounds like a self-help thing, but that's not.
That's the same process, though, isn't it?
It's pretty much, yeah. With any goal, you want to achieve it, you've got to put some structure, you've got to put some discipline, you've got to put some time in it, and this is what I've found to be what works for me at this point in time.
Mm. What do you think shifted for you to do that? Like, is that like do you feel like you're kind of floating and then, yeah, I don't know whether that's the right question.
I think sometimes it's just the right time and the right place. It's just that this program came along at this point in time for me at the right time. Like going from face-to-face lessons, I actually don't. I like doing most things face-to-face. So to do things through the internet is not necessarily my preferred way of learning.
Yep.
But I've actually found that I've actually found it is much better than I thought I would, and that's probably meeting halfway between in-person lesson and investing time in that. So it is actually an easier way where you don't have to travel, you don't have to fight traffic, etc. You can then just sort of jump on, knock out an hour, and it's a very productive hour in terms of practice as well. Is that you're actually picking up the guitar, and I've commented to you, Brett, about this before, is that I'm now picking up the guitar almost every day.
Mm.
And if some of those days are the hours of the lesson, that's amazing. So
Yeah, 100%. Appreciate you sharing that. I think that was probably a realization for me. It's like you're picking up your guitar more, and you came from one lesson per week, but now you're doing this. You're picking up the guitar more. So yeah, I love that.
and some of my previous lessons were only picking up the guitar once a week when you had the lesson, or trying to cram in 15 minutes before the lesson to try and, I don't know, make yourself not feel guilty while you're still going to that lesson. Because yeah,
Yeah, that's very cool.
yeah. So it is actually and part of the, I guess, with the group lesson too is that you're not the sole focus of being the only person in the room getting basically examined for half an hour. Is that if you've had a bad week or a bad day, you can sort of pull back a bit and just play a little bit when you can,
Mm.
in terms of that hour, that you're not sort of under the microscope the whole time. And
Mm.
so from a I guess dealing with your own personal guilt point of view, it's a lot easier to just go at the speed you want and don't feel bad about it, and don't beat yourself up too much about it.